outside, got all my gear set up. I'm about to jump into the water and see what I find. The first dive didn't go so well. As soon as I hit the water, my mask flooded, and then I couldn't clear it on the surface because the current was so strong that every time I tried to clear it, just more water got in. So I had to dive down all the way to the bottom, clear the mask, and then start my dive. I think it was the GoPro bouncing off the mask that caused it to flood. So the second dive, of course, I decide not to bring the GoPro, and that's when I find all the Megalodon teeth. And this was actually only half of a dive because I dove too close to high tide, so it got slack tide down there, and every time I'd move it'd get murked up, and I couldn't really orient myself. So I called the dive early, came up, but got a lot of cool stuff. Excited to show you. Alright, so first things first, this is a Fragalodon, half of a Meg, that I found on the first dive. The other things that I found were just little mako teeth, whale ear bone, things like that, but this Megalodon was a find from the first dive. So let's see if we did any better this time. So we got, it's a nice Meg right there, probably about 3 inches. It's pretty dirty, but I think I can still see enamel under it, so we'll clean it up back home, and should be a nice tooth. It's only got 1 chip, not too bad. Second Meg, a little bit smaller, pretty dirty as well. The fact that these are so dirty kind of tells me that they've been sitting down there for a while. Probably not a lot of people have been diving this spot, but this is a nice little Meg as well. Whale ear bone, found a few of these. Whale ear bone, a little bit smaller. Even smaller whale ear bone. Then another Megalodon tooth. This one's probably about 3 or so inches. Again, really dirty, but I can see the enamel underneath it, so that's going to clean up. This is going to be a nice tooth. Looks to be fully intact. I don't see any damage. Another whale ear bone. Whale ear bone. Whale ear bone. And then here is a fragmented Megalodon, so looks like you got one corner off of that, but nice overall. Pretty dirty, just like the others. I think we might have some little makos in here. Yeah, a little tiny fragmented mako. Bigger mako. This one's got chip missing off of it. Other than that, pretty nice. And of course, a little tiny baby mako just to round it all out. So those were the finds from the second dive. Much better. Definitely going to come back to the spot. I've been diving these areas, just looking for anything that might hold good fossing grounds. It's been hit or miss, but this site absolutely paid off. So I'm going to come back here as soon as I can. In fact, I might finish off this tank and hop back down and see what I see. Back into the boat ramp. Did 3 dives with 2 tanks, and I got this. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 megs. There's a broken half actually in my cooler. It's really fragile, but it's got nice coloration, so I wanted to hang on to that. But Not a bad day. Bunch of makos as well. I've got a whole bag of whale ear bones. I just filled up on them today. Probably got about a dozen. So, hell of a day out there. Gonna clean these up, take some photos, post them.